Look at that, even lighting. And there's no glare in my glasses. Who'd have thunk it, pups? How do I even do this anymore? Am I still technically human enough to do this? Hello, and welcome to the Plies and Hellhounds channel. Audrey, did I say you could leave your bed? We are a crafty puppy interrupted podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut. I am your human host, Gabby. You can find me everywhere online as Gabigailss and on my hand-dyed yarn at Plies and Hellhounds and pliesandhellhounds.com. Welcome back to returning viewers and welcome to any new viewers. It is our first podcast of the year. I finally got the tripod piece I lost during Vlogmas, so we are back in action. Of course, as soon as I start to record, dogs start walking, the washing machine's gonna start going. It's fine. It's fine. It is our first podcast of 2021. I've got a Heaving Bosoms mug filled with coffee. My camera's trying to focus on this hedgehog planter more than me. This is summing it up pretty nicely. This is it. There are no administrative things to get into. I don't know what's gonna happen with this year. The pumpkin mail has wrapped up and I've mailed out all of the prizes. I think one person hasn't contacted me yet, but I have to double check on that. We do have both dogs in here today. So if you hear puttering or screaming, that's them. Yeah, pumpkin mail has wrapped up for I think our 5th year. Was this past year? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I've got nothing planned until perhaps April. Vaccine pandemic, but pending. So yeah, let's just get into it. I don't think I have a lot to share, but I have a feeling this is gonna be really rambly because I don't talk to anybody anymore. I will leave the link to the Heaving Bosoms mug because it's just so, if you listen to the podcast, it's just so good. I mean, so good. Hi, bud. Let's just get into it. Starting off with what I am wearing, which is also a finished object. I am wearing the Alder Grove pullover by Samantha Guerin Designs. This is her latest sweater pattern. Where was I? This is her latest sweater pattern. I knit it out of Lavender Lune yarn, which is what she designed it in on her Slub base in the Shadowsinger colorway. I didn't even do that on purpose, I swear. And this is the Suri Alpaca in the Rumor colorway. Sam does have kits up on her website, but she uses a different fuzzy base than this one. This one's a lace weight and the one in the kit is a fingering weight. But here's the whole thing. I don't know if I'll be able to untuck it. So the bottom is flaring a little bit, but I think that was just me doing too stretchy of a bind off in the fuzzy yarns. I did 3/4 sleeves. I've just been doing a French tuck because all I wear are leggings now. I'm in that stage of quarantine. I love this sweater. It was super fun to knit. It was so fast if I actually worked on it. And it was just a giant vanilla deliciousness, and all the interest is in the Slub yarn. I'll try and get a close up. There we go. I love it. I love it so much. It's a drop shoulder top down construction. And I knit I think the 36-inch bust size. It was the second size up because I did want some positive ease in it. It's not as much as I thought it was going to do, which is fine because I also knit this longer than I usually knit my sweater. So I think if I went any wider, I would be swimming in it. But yeah, this is it. I love it. I've worn it so many times. I wore it on Christmas. I think I finished it on like the 22nd of December. And that is the only handmade thing I'm wearing. I'm not even wearing handmade socks. I just have slippers on. Which brings us into finished objects. And I have technically 3 of them. The first one is, I finished this last night at like 10:30. The Radvent Cardigan by Amnah O'Brien. And this is what I used my Throne of Glass or Advent of Minis advent calendar on. So that was my advent calendar inspired by the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas because no chill. And I love it. Okay, here is the back. It is not blocked. Not all the ends have been woven in. The cuffs are color 25. So we start with color 1, go all the way through, and then end down here on color 24. I held this double with a skein of Never Trust a Prince on my fig lace mohair base. So I'll put this on, scoot over again. It's not blocked, so it does not look like much. I knit the second size. So she recommends doing the sizing by your bust. It is an open cardigan, so I did the 32-inch size. That way it was a little bit of positive ease because I am a 30-inch bust technically, but the waist measurement is smaller than the bust measurement. I cast on for the 35 because the 35-inch bust I think would have fit my waist more, like I would have had more room in the waist, but then I went down to the 32 because it would have been too big, and I'm really glad I went down to the 32-inch because the top looks great. This feels really nice, it's cozy, it's not blocked, so I'm hoping this changes it, but I can't close it. It won't close. It's too small. Part of this is because I think I had to adjust the pattern a little bit because she has 25 stripes, I have 24. So I did add stripes into most of this. The back pieces, because her pattern also calls for 20 gram minis, I had 10 gram minis. Or I don't know, I'm missing rows in the back, I think is what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't close in the front. That is also because I don't think the waist measurement size for the 32-inch bust would even go around my waist anymore. So it's a lot of factors like that, but I'm not mad. I do enjoy it. I'm gonna block it because it's only got 3 buttons on the bottom band. Let's see if I can show you. Yeah, like there's only buttons here. So it's meant to just be worn with the bottom closed, but I don't wear cardigans like that, so I'm not gonna close it anyway. I probably won't even put buttons on this, to be quite honest. We'll be lucky if I even weave in my ends. Yeah, overall, it was a really good pattern. It was very easy to follow because it was like not a chart, it was like kind of like a line by line system, but then like when you got to certain parts, she had a little paragraph explaining what you had to do. I think it was a very interesting construction. I really enjoyed it. I think it would be super cute in one color too. Yeah, this is my Advent. I finished it last night and I love it so very much. Maybe if you had like 20 gram minis and followed the pattern like a real person instead of winging it like I did, it would have fit a little better around the waist, but I'm not mad. Again, I have to block it, so I will post photos once I block this, but the length is really good on the sleeves. It's super cozy, it's really warm, and I just can't wait to look at each stripe and remember and then start weeping. That's when flowers spring from fields of blood. It's fine, I'm not dealing with it. I think while I'm editing I'm gonna weave in the end so that way I can block it and I can wear it tomorrow. Okay, the other finished objects that I have are spinning, you guys. I've been spinning. So I got, if you watched Vlogmas, you will know this. If you did not, I was asked by Plyology, who is a new 3D printed electric spinner company, that they contacted me and asked if I would like to beta test their new e-spinner. And I said yes, because I love spinning, I love e-spinners, and you know, I wanted to try out a new wheel. It was so much fun. The Plyology was like 1.5, almost 2 sizes larger than my Eel Nano, which is fine, it's a nano wheel. So the bobbins were huge. They didn't give us any directions with it just to see how intuitive it was, and it took me a little bit to figure out what everything was, but as soon as I did, it went by, like, it was just so much fun. It was so much fun. Like it was so much fun. It was super light, it didn't get hot, like it was such a good just like plop on the coffee table and spin while on the couch. So I spun 2 things. The first one is this guy. See if it'll focus. So this is about 2 ounces of a New Hampshire Shetland that my teacher slash mentor slash favorite person at college sent to me in a care package when she mailed me a bunch of stuff from my college that she found in the darkroom that reminded her of me kind of thing. Oh, I miss her so much. I did spin and knit her a shawl. It's just sitting in my drawer. I have to mail it to her. It was for her retirement like 5 years ago. Sorry, Beth. So this is Shetland. I did I spun the singles, caked them up, and then pulled from the center and the outside for a 2-ply. And oh, it's so squishy and soft and just, oh. And I think it's really balanced. This was the first thing I spun. This was like the test. So you can definitely see like the uneven bits where I was playing around with like the tension and the pull and stuff with the Plyology wheel. But as soon as I got that, it was easy to really give it a go. I spun a braid of CLassy Squid Fiber Co.'s Nesta colorway, which is on a Shetland and Tulsa silk blend. And this one I just did, this was my like see how much the bobbin can hold test. It is 113 grams. I haven't weighed the skein itself, but I got about 300 yards of a 3-ply out of this, and it filled the bobbin. Usually I have to do a jumbo bobbin for my plying on my Honey and Ply bluebonnet wheel. I have a jumbo bobbin for plying, and like usually like that just fits it, but the regular bobbins on the Plyology are jumbo. So this filled it, and that was the goal. So this is a close-up of that. Oh, I love just these blues. I'm not a blue person, but this is just killing me. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It is I would say a sport weight. My options are endless. I just want a knit sweater, so like I want to put it in a colorwork sweater. It does bleed still, which for this dark of a fiber, I would have expected that. So I don't know what I would put it with. Maybe I'll knit it by itself. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I'm just gonna look at it for a while and enjoy it. I do have, thanks to a friend, also 2 bats of the Morgana colorway by CLassy Squid, just to really round out my ACOTAR spinning life. Should I knit something that can I wear under my Illyrian wings cardigan? Oh no, the chill is gone. Yeah, so I started spinning and I really want to do more. I think I have a braid of Gotland from Into the World that I got at Rhinebeck, and I think that's the last of, no, I have like 2 other bags of Rhinebeck fiber. Okay, cool. I might break out, like give Edgar a good bath and break him out and work on a braid of Gotland. I don't know, like I just want to spin? I think I want to spin. I just wish someone would hold a book in front of me while I spun. Yeah. Okay, yeah, those are my finished objects. Thank you for coming to this rant, which is already 20 minutes long. I have a very short works in progress section. I have not touched the garden socks, the Pisces socks, the sun glow tee, the baby leggings. I think I even took the needles out of most of those things because I needed them for something, but I did do a Christmas Eve cast on like a responsible adult with 1,000 whips and deadlines. Duh. I went stash diving and pulled out mostly because I had almost an entire skein left over of Rumor on the Suri Alpaca base from Lavender Lune, and I wanted to use it up immediately because I knew if I let it sit in my stash, I would forget I had it and never pair it with anything. So I dug out a skein of Narwhal Needleworks in their Wanderer colorway on the Ravenwood base, which is their tweed. And this skein of Woodsy by Hugh Loco on her Spun sock base, which is a high twist MCN. So holding these 2 together, and then this one, I cast on a Bennet sister shawl by Larkspur Knits. Here she is. I cast her on Christmas Eve. I worked on her, and then I promptly put her down. And then I didn't touch anything crafting wise since like the 28th of December. I really enjoyed working on this little bit. I have nothing else that I'm actively working on besides those 7,000 whips I just named. So this will be my sole knitting. I think I'm going monogamous on my knitting. I think so. I'm just gonna let it, like, I want to cast something on, but I don't know what. I want someone to pick something for me to cast on, but they also have to choose the pattern and the yarn and cake it up and also cast it on for me. I just want to knit in the middle of something. That's it, I think. I think that's my problem. I believe I called it Foggy Prairie aesthetic in the Vlogmas, which I love. I'm just here for like spooky cottagecore vibes. I just want to be like a goth Laura Ingalls Wilder. Yep, that's what I want to do. I am knitting this on size 6 Knit Pro Zings, which are my go-to needles. And here is the Wanderer by itself. I figure with the tweed, this one doesn't need to have anything held double with it. It's fine. It's great on its own, but I think this is going to look so good, and I can't wait. So yeah, that's my web. That's all I've been working on. And I haven't even been working on it. I've been working on a couple other things. Yeah, so I guess let's move on. Yeah, I haven't done any sewing at all. I have started packing up the sewing section, and like, I went through all my fabric and I did a whole bunch of fabric destash stuff and just like got rid of a lot of things. Have just been sitting and collecting dust and just not something I'm going to work with anymore. So I found it new homes. I don't have any crafting goals because I'm just sort of letting it happen as it happens. I'm not doing a make 9 this year. I'm not, yeah, just, I don't know what's going to go on with this year. I had big plans for last year and I don't even remember what those plans were. I'm just going to let it happen. Whatever comes to, comes to. I also I don't think I've bought anything crafting wise since the Wild in the Woods advent, which I have not opened. I have been strong. We've got 13 days until I can open the first one, so I'm waiting patiently. I did buy a purple waffle plant, and I named her Nina because it's a waffle. That's what I've done. I don't think I've bought anything else that's really reckless lately. Have I? No, I haven't. All right, with that, the rest of this is shop update and Beyond Crafting. If you were not here for either of those, thank you so much for watching. And if you are, let us continue on. There's no shop update scheduled this week. I am hoping to get one out within the next couple of weeks. I'm waiting for some supplies to come in. But we do have the pre-orders for book 1, or colors 1 through 3, and color 25 of the Advent of Minis up in the shop. I'm doing it by book, by month. Easy peasy, keep track of it that way. Yeah, those are up and they will be up until the 20th, and I will be having more information about the book boxes out soon. I'm planning to do 4 this year, so 1 per quarter. I have 3 of the books completely picked out. 1 of the books I'm on the fence on, so I'm gonna do some research on some other books that I think would do it. I wanna do at least 1 standalone novel, and then I have 2 series. Oh no, I think I already have a standalone novel. I have to look. The first box is the Six of Crows duology by Leah Bardugo, and I love it so much. I'm so excited. Everything's like fallen into place really easily on that one, so I'm just I'm excited. I'm excited and nervous to see the challenge of the other 3 boxes, but more information on that will be out soon, closer to the pre-order date, which is February 1st through 10th. And yeah, everything's at pliesandhellhounds.com. We've got a ton of yarn in the shop right now, so I'm not too worried about being low on a lot of stuff. We're just kind of trying to figure out how to plan the year. That's shop update. Beyond Crafting. Beyond Crafting is what I've been doing besides crafting. And I haven't been doing a lot of crafting, so most of this will probably be this section. The crows are good. We have been feeding them hazelnuts. They love them. They don't like sesame seeds, learned that. And they still get their classic unsalted peanuts. So the crows are a-okay. Lots of Sims, per usual. They had a new expansion pack out called Snowy Escape, and it's like a Japanese mountain town. I love it. So good. Yeah, just playing a lot of Sims. It's still pandemic times, so we're not going anywhere. We're not doing a lot of stuff. We're not really seeing anybody except over Zoom, or like once every 2 weeks we'll see one person, which is usually one of our parents. So, but I have been reading last time I podcasted, I was working on A Peculiar Peril by Jeff Vandermeer, and since then I have read these. This is what I have finished since I last podcasted. Let's go over this, shall we? In order. This is very heavy. I have finished A Peculiar Peril by Jeff Vandermeer. Part 2 picked up so quickly. I liked part 2 a lot better than part 1. It just, the action was there. It got interesting. Like all the little details that that was sprinkled around part 1 came together in a way that I enjoyed. I wanted to read more about these characters. This is a series, I believe. I don't know if I will read the series, but I did enjoy this. I enjoyed the second part more than the first part. I mean, it's definitely for young adult, and it's, I think, more lighthearted than what I've been used to reading over the past year. But it was good. Would recommend. Then I read Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This is a story based in a Latinx community with brujos and brujas. So the brujos are guiders for spirits in the cemetery, and the brujas are more of a healers. And it is about a trans teenager who is trying to prove to his father that he can in fact be a brujo, despite his father's thought process that he can't. And in the process, accidentally summons the spirit of the school bad boy instead of his recently murdered cousin, and figuring out why. So good. It's so good. The whole story takes place within like a week. It is just adorable. It was so well written. It just so cute. So precious. Must protect at all costs. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. It even got me to start marking lines I like. I've never like tabbed my books before, but this made me start. I mean, also just like the cover is stunning. So this is really good. Also a young adult contemporary fantasy. It is set in LA. I think that's the gist of it without getting too into it. So good. He also has another book out. Something about Into the Woods, walking through the woods, witches in the woods. I don't know. I have to look at it. I'll put it down here, but I do want to read that one too. That one looks really good. Then I read The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, who this woman is dead. Audrey, I'm trying to talk about Faye. Yeah, I am. I'll never stop. This woman has been in my life my whole life, and I don't remember any of it because I'm pretty sure she's not a human. She wrote The Spiderwick Chronicles, which my younger brother grew up on. She wrote Tithe. I've read that. I've read it and I've discussed it with people, and I saw The Cruel Prince on YouTube and Book Talk, and I was like, wow, who's this Holly Black person? Oh. She's Faye. So I read this. This was so good. This, yes. The lore, the like fairy mythology, it's like very traditionally Celtic based like rules, which I love. And it goes into rules I didn't even know about. And just, give me brooding, angsty, borderline psychotic enemies to lovers. Yes. So I read that in about a day and a half. So, oh God, it was so good. I did? Did I? I guess I didn't. I thought I marked some pages in this, but I did not. So I read this and loved it. Loved it. I must have written it early on because I did tell Adrian to get me the rest of the series for Christmas. God, it was just so good. It was good. Like even her transitioning between like when the characters are traveling, it looked like it would have been tedious because she is explaining world building stuff while you're doing it. But then like you start your journey through the woods as a confident human, and by the end of it, I am also now very nervous about this puddle she has to step over. Because Faye! Then I read Shadow and Bone by Leah Bardugo. This was a reread for me. This is my book club book for the month of January. We are discussing it on Sunday. I once again, enjoyed reading it. did I? I tagged a couple things in here because this time I went back and tagged plot stuff that I want to see in it. I'm tagging plot stuff in this one to kind of go through the rest of the series and King of Scars and Six of Crows duology. This will be a show on Netflix in April. It is a mix between Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows because they kind of happen at the same time or around the same period, and they sort of meet up during King of Scars in a way. So yes, please. I'm so excited. So this was like a 2-day read because reread and dark magic and like a Russian inspired empire. Yes. I read The Bone Witch. Yeah. Rin Chupiko. This is a story about a young girl who comes from a line of witches. It is an Asian inspired world. Each like kingdom has a little bit of inspiration taken from different Asian countries. Very good. It good. I have no words. Young girl, she comes from a line of witches. She learns very early on that she is a bone witch and therefore can raise the dead, accidentally raises her brother from the grave after he is killed in a war because they are warring against these mythical giant evil creatures that pop up like every 5 or 10 years. And so it's her telling the story to a bard from when she is 17, and then you're with her when she's about 12 or 14 and going through learning how to be this witch and like that lifestyle. Really good. Enjoyed it. More tags. This is also a series. I do want to continue reading this series. It's a very good anti-hero main character, which I love because she is here to burn the world down and I want to watch her do it. My camera's trying to shut down on me. I swear, this is not turning into a book talk thing just yet. So, I finished Bone Witch. Wait, did I do Bone Witch then Leah? I might have done, I think I did Bone Witch then Shadow and Bone. I don't want you to think that I read them out of order. Okay, I read one of those, and then I picked up The Wicked King by Holly Black. Many more tabs. Just kidding. 3 tabs in this one. This is book 2 in the Folk Air series, I believe is what it's called. Again, a gorgeous cover. Ugh. This one was good. This was good. Ooh, ooh. Cardin, come, Girl, you think you were so sly. You think you're so sly. And you didn't even read the lines, never mind between them when he made that deal with you. So immediately afterwards, I read The Queen of Nothing, which is the 3rd book and the final book in this series, I believe. As far as I know, this one also really good. This one flew by for me. The smudgeness, so good. Will reread again. We'll probably dye yarn on. I just loved this world of like the Fae world where like if you're a human, you're in constant danger. This is not a fun time for anybody involved. I love it. It's very reminiscent of my life right now. That is what I've read since December 5th. I set a goal of 21 books for the year 2021 and I'm on book 6. Yeah, I'm on book 6. I did listen to Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. Is that her name? On Audible. I'm counting those in my books because they are books for 2021. That was really good. That was just a nice background thing. Like it was part information, part storytelling. It was good. It's the prequel to Practical Magic. So now I am working on Six of Crows by Leah Bardugo. I am, where's my bookmark? I am here. So I am over halfway done. I anticipate finishing this within the next day or 2. I've been averaging about 10% a night over the past 2 nights on this because I've actually been keeping track on my Goodreads app. Yeah, I love it. It's a dark, dirty, grimy, industrial age set in like a dark, dank Amsterdam heist book, and I love it. I forgot how savage Kaz Brecker is. And I'm so ready to see him in the Netflix series. And I just can't wait for the horror that he incites into people's hearts. Yeah, so I am working on this. Obviously, after that, I will be rereading The Crooked Kingdom in preparation for this book box. I am keeping track of everything on my Goodreads account. I will link it below in the show notes. I also made a list of everything I read in 2020 that I remember. I haven't gone back and like looked on anything. I'm just doing it by what I know off the top of my head. I know most of it was just thrown off class because it took me so long to get into reading again. Yeah, I am keeping track of everything as I'm reading it for this year, and that way I'll have a bookshelf per year. So yeah, that is what I'm reading right now, and then I will read Crooked Kingdom, and then that will put me at probably the end of January. So I have 13 days to fill before I start rereading ACOTAR, because Silver Flame comes out on the 16th, and I have it pre-ordered with Azrael's POV chapter. I don't know if it's going to be here on the 16th, but I do want to reread all the 4 of them, including Frost and Starlight, which I've only read once. It's not my favorite. It is a Christmas special. That's what it is. So yeah, that's my plan. I also got a butt ton of books for Christmas, so I will go over those as I get to them. I do plan on reading all of them immediately. Reading has just been it. Like, I just want to devour worlds. Literature-wise and actually. And that's really what I've been up to. Like, again, I've been playing The Sims. The Office is off Netflix, so I am just wandering aimlessly around my house. I have watched Bridgerton. I'm on my second go-through. I think I'm on, like, the second to last episode. Again. Enjoyable. Delightful. The perfect fluff for right now. Fluff, and then smut, and then fluff again. It's Bridgerton. I do want to read the Duke and I series, or, like, the whole Bridgerton book series. I haven't decided if I want to listen to it or read it, but I'm going to see what the waitlist situation is at my library before I make that decision, because I'm assuming it's a very long line right now for it. Yeah, a lot of reading plans, a lot of cleaning plans. We are going through everything. Our lease is up at the end of March, so we are going to be moving. We don't have a spot yet, but we are looking, so that fun, stressful time's coming much faster than I would like to admit. So I have started going through and packing up all my sewing stuff, because I don't think I'm going to get into any sewing between now and March. I really don't. The desire's not there right now, so I'm going to act like it won't be there, and if I pack it up, I'll want to sew something. I think I'm going to go through my stash next. I did go through it earlier in December and put up a bunch of stuff on D-Stash, so I think I'm going to do that again and really weed out things that should go to new homes. That's basically it. It's pandemic times. We're still just kind of hunkering down and getting through it. So with that, I will see you hopefully next week, maybe in 2 weeks. I don't know how often I will be doing this right now, because I am having almost no Craft Joe. I'm going to try and keep it to every other week at least, because if I do this every week and I have nothing to show you, it's just going to be rambling. Unless you just want to listen to me talk about Fae theories between 400 different book series. I could probably just start, yeah. Again, there's no chill. There's no chill. Yeah, I think that's it. I know somebody did ask at some point last year, I think on the last podcast episode, about how I store my yarn. So I think the next episode I will go into that, because I'll have to start packing up the yarn soon, so then I can show you how I have it and how I've had it in the past. So I will write that down in the show notes for the next episode. But with that, I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching, supporting the podcast, supporting the shop, and we will see you soon.